Good evening, everyone. Thanks for watching this podcast. I'll apologize in advance for the music that plays in the background periodically from this. This is the best option I had to do a podcast to get you this information tonight. So please excuse the music that will randomly play during this presentation. I'm going to go through everything I would have gone through over at our student parent meeting tonight for the upcoming conference this week. Thanks for taking the time to watch this since we were unable to have the meeting during the weather that we are getting outside this evening. So you'll also have some attachments in email that you can reference throughout this presentation. And then, of course, at any point, if you have any questions, since we aren't having the face-to-face meeting, please feel free to email me at any point, and we can get any questions you might have answered regarding the trip for this week. We will have multiple adults serving as chaperones for the trip. Obviously, the two troop directors at the high school, myself, and Mr. Fitzgerald at the middle school will be attending, as well as Mrs. Harklerode, who is our co-drama advisor at the high school, will be going as the chaperone, as well as Mr. Eric Brinzer, who is the theater and choir director at Bald Eagle High School. He'll be coming along as a chaperone with us this year, as Bald Eagle is looking to potentially add a troop at their school next year. So he'll be serving as one of our chaperones, as well as kind of doing a fact-finding thing for the conference this year to see if their school will be able to add a ITS troop there next year. So at any point, if you have any questions, you can certainly reach out to any one of us, but these will be the 4 adults that will be accompanying the students on the trip. For some of our newer students or parents, just a quick what is ITS? What is the purpose of the organization? The purpose of the Pennsylvania Chapter of Educational Theater Association is to basically promote educational theater in Pennsylvania by teaching and educating and instructing individuals in performing arts related subjects. Each different state in the U.S. has a chapter of EDTA. Ours here in Pennsylvania is a very active one, as you'll find, as you'll see through conference attendance and things like that. But that just gives you a basic idea of what ITS is in general. And of course, each state then has a state conference this year that has a different purpose through the educational mission. And the state conference is designed to give students throughout the state an opportunity to meet other students, learn about theater, learn about and display their talents. It'll include workshops, presentations of one-acts, full-length plays, musicals, and many other activities, which we'll talk to when we get into the expectations for the conference. But know that this is a very good opportunity, a very good conference for any theater student of middle school and high school, and we are very lucky in Pennsylvania to have such a good quality conference that we can attend. The item I want to spend most of the amount of time on for this podcast is, of course, the itinerary, which you have a copy of the PDF in your email, and this will be our guiding document as we prepare for the conference. So just to kind of cover this quickly, I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to kind of skip around. If you have questions, please contact me. Biggest thing to know, at the beginning of the day on Thursday, you need to be on time to school in order to be eligible to go on the conference trip. If you are late, you will not be permitted to attend the trip. So it's very crucial that you are in school on time. Before you go to homeroom, drop your luggage and things off at the theater at the high school, or at the middle school, drop them off in the auditorium. You'll then be dismissed from classes and report back to either the theater or the auditorium at 9:45, and we will depart at 10 o'clock. We'll load up at the high school, load the high school students on the bus, and we will swing by the middle school on our way out. Know that there will be a lunch stop en route. As we head to York, we'll arrive at the school around 1:30, do registration. There'll be an opening show that we will see, and then we will return to the hotel to do check-in at 4 o'clock, and parents, the hotel contact information is included on the itinerary for you as well. When we eventually will end back, going back to the high school for dinner and the conference activities, and back at the hotel after the activities finish up on Thursday night, and there is a 12 a.m. curfew for all students to be in your assigned rooms on Thursday evening. The one thing I will note about Thursday evening, for those of you that attended before, we typically do not hang around for the event dance and social time. At the end, we normally head back to the hotel. Thursday, there is a director's meeting that is going on at 10 o'clock that will coincide with the dance, so we will need to stay for that, and we will head to the hotel once that meeting is over. You'll notice on the itinerary Friday and Saturday, very similar schedules. Breakfast at 7:30 a.m. with a departure at 8:30 a.m. for the high school. Conference activities for the entire day, and then returning back to the hotel that evening with curfew that evening, again at 12 a.m., same as Thursday night. Sunday, a little later, breakfast, 8:30 a.m. We'll depart for the high school to come back here to Bellefonte at 9:30. We do estimate the time Arrival back here at BHS at noon. We will not be doing a food stop en route since we'll just had breakfast at the hotel prior to departure. At the bottom of the itinerary there is my contact information number, my cell phone, which you can use to contact me during the trip if you need to. And parents, should you need to contact us for any reason during the trip, and if you were not able to reach your student, you may use that contact information as well. Just a very brief overview of the itinerary. Please let me know if you have specific questions, but hopefully this is a good guiding document for before we depart. We will also have the conference handbook and maps and schedule when we arrive there that will detail the major portions of our day spent at the conference, and we'll receive that when we get there. One of the large questions always deals with what clothing, what attire do we need? Know right off the bat, this is not a dress-up conference. This is a casual clothes but school-appropriate conference. Thursday, just appropriate school attire. It asks you not to have ripped jeans, though. Of course, though, no reason to dress up either. A lot of people will do some sort of theater shirt on Thursday if they have one. Doesn't necessarily have to be a school shirt, but if you have one, you're more than welcome to wear that. Friday, however, we'll try to wear a show shirt. High schoolers, if you have an AIDA shirt from last year, will wear that, or a 6-character shirt. Those came in today. We'll have those available. Middle schoolers, either a melodrama shirt or really any show shirt from anything you've been done in before. If you don't have any of those, that's fine. Just wear some sort of school pride shirt. But Friday, we kind of show off our school and show off our programs. Saturday, we will have a conference t-shirt that's part of the registration cost that you will receive when we get there, and we'll do jeans with those. And no, ladies, I do not know the color of the shirt at this time, so you can coordinate your outfit. We'll find that out when we arrive. A very quick note, this only applies to a few. If you're auditioning for a scholarship, you must be in all black, including shoes and minimal jewelry, and that is a requirement. Spending money for on the trip, many things, almost everything is covered under the registration cost that you've already taken care of. Thursday, the dinner at the high school. Friday, the lunch and dinner. Saturday, the lunch and dinner, and then all breakfasts at the hotel are already included in the cost that you've taken care of. The only spending money you'll need is for the fast food stop from Bellefonte to York. We will offer an option for those that want to chip in to get pizza at the hotel each night. And by the time we get back from the conference, it's been a while since we've had dinner, so it's always nice to get pizza. So we will do that each night that we're at the hotel. And then of course there's optional items, the conference items, the souvenirs, the sweatshirts, the t-shirts, those type of things. But that's the only spending money that you should need. Everything else is already included as a part of the registration cost that included the hotel and everything along those lines. So if you have money to cover these items, you should be good to go as far as spending money is concerned. Medication information. I'm going to start with the medical form, not the prescription medication. High school students, you've already turned the medical form in as a part of your paperwork for the trip that authorizes us to give you over-the-counter things such as Tylenol, ibuprofen, Tums, those type of things. Middle school students and parents, attached to the email you received is a copy of our Fine Arts Department medical form. If you look at page 2, you'll see an area at the bottom that you can authorize the teachers to give your students some over-the-counter medication. Again, things like Tylenol, Tums, those things, should they need those throughout the trip. Those, of course, are not prescription medication, so we will carry those and make those available to those that have the parental permission to do so. Any prescription medication, and this goes to the other attachment, the authorization for medication form in email. Any prescription medication that a doctor has authorized you to take, if you're going to have that on the trip, you must have the signed medical administration form by the doctor. And there really is no exception to that. We do have to have that information from the doctor. Those of you that went to the high school in New York marching band trip this year, a couple weeks ago, I have those forms and can reference those forms. There's no need for you to do another one. However, I'd ask that you just follow up with an email to me letting me know which medication you'll be bringing so I can pull the appropriate form. Summary case in point, all the medication must be carried by a teacher. No student will be carrying medicine. We'll carry all the medications and we'll administer those to you at the time that they need to be administered. Just like we did in New York, just like we did in Disney, for those of you that are on those trips, we'll hold the medicine and we will get it to you when you need to take it. But if you have not traveled this year on a trip with us and done that medication form, in order to take a prescription, and that includes inhalers if they're prescribed, all those types of things, we do need to have that medication form. The only medication that we will allow you to carry is an EpiPen, an inhaler, or birth control. Those are the only 3 types of medication that you may have on your person or in your luggage. And again, even if you're carrying on your person, we do need to have those forms on file. Any other medication and all the over-the-counter medication we will carry, and you can see us when it is time to take those. Medication's always the thing. There's a lot of questions, so if you have specifics, please reach out to me in email, and I will get those individual questions answered on a case-by-case basis. But both of those forms are attached to the email for your using. So once we get there, what do you do at the conference? Workshops, one-acts, main stage shows, exhibits, college visits, scholarship auditions. We'll go over all this once we arrive and on the bus once we have the specific schedule for you. Just make sure that you realize that there are mandatory things and then there are optional things, and we will detail those for you once we arrive at the school, so there's clear expectations for everyone. This conference is in one building, so it's not hard to find things, but you are on your own. We don't travel as a group from room to room, so you are on your own, and the expectation is that you will get to those different rooms and different venues at the time you need to be there. But again, we will cover all of those specifics on the bus, and once we arrive, when we can go over the detailed conference schedule with you. But just know that there are mandatory things you'll be expected to be at, and then some things you'll get to choose what you want to visit or not. For those of you that have smartphones or text messaging service, there is a text message service here that you can sign up for. The details there, you send a text to that number with that in the message. You can sign up for the conference text messages. These are not my announcement text messages that I've already signed your cell phones up for. These are the ones that will come straight from the conference staff. There is also a smartphone app that has the entire conference schedule in it, and those details are in the email that I sent you this evening, and I'll review this information when we leave for the trip, but good things to know before we go of these options. Again, our contact information, myself and Mr. Fitzgerald, should you need to reach out to us. Mine is my cell as well as texts, but please realize Mr. Fitzgerald's, no text messages, calls only, but put those numbers in your phone in case you need to reach out to us while we're at the conference. And finally, just a few wrap-up items also in the email: hotel assignments and van and bus assignments. Check those out. Please make sure you know who you're with and where you need to be and all those types of things. Thanks for watching this. I know this is a very odd way of having this meeting, but given the weather circumstances and the fact that there's an elementary concert tomorrow night, we were kind of stuck into this was our only option. Again, I will be checking my email throughout the evening tonight as well as all day tomorrow should you have any questions. The one additional thing I would like to note, high school students, please make sure if you have not turned in your final payments for the trip that you get those in. And I was also made aware that some of you have not yet picked up your bills to know what you owe. So if you have a question on that, you can email me tonight and I will respond with the amount that you owe, so you can bring a check tomorrow if possible. But if not, you need to pick that form up tomorrow from my office so you can get those payments in as quick as possible. But everything that you should need to know was included in this podcast, and make sure you check out those attachments to the email as well, and we will go from there. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. If not, I will see you at school tomorrow and can answer questions then. But Thursday morning, we are on the itinerary as far as departure and all the details that you need to know. So thanks again for watching this. Please reach out with any questions, and have a good evening.